Pythagorean theorem. You might have heard of this before. And what a lot of people say is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Or sometimes you'll hear x squared plus y squared equals r squared. But really what they mean is this side squared plus this side squared equals this side squared. And if that's a right angle triangle. Or this would be the x, y, and r. So if you know two of these sides, you can find the third one as long as you follow this. So here's a common one. If this side is 3 and this side is 4, what's this side? So I think your math textbook uses that one, x, y, and r. So we can say x equals 3 and y equals 4. What's r? Well, x squared plus y squared equals r squared. That would mean that r squared equals x squared plus y squared. So we can do that. So we happen to know what x is, we happen to know what y is, so we just stick it in there. We know x equals 3, so r squared equals 3 squared plus, and y is equal to 4 squared, like that. We go up here, and we say, hey, r squared is equal to 3 squared, 3 times 3, 9, plus 4 squared, 4 times 4, 16. R squared equals, what's 9 plus 16? 25. So if r squared is 25, then r is equal to the square root of 25, right? Because r is the square root of r squared, and square root of 25 is the square root of 25, and that happens to be 5. So that's kind of an interesting thing, because that means if we take this back here and we say r equals 5, that means whenever this side of the triangle is 3 and this side of the triangle is 4, this side is 5. And a lot of carpenters and landscapers use that, because if you're building a fence, right, you want to make sure that everything is square. Assuming this is square, if you measure out 4 feet this way and you measure out 3 feet this way, then if you were to take this point and you measure that, should be 5 feet. So you can actually, when your homework today, if you go to your room, find a corner, measure out 3 feet, measure out 4 feet, and then measure those 2 points. If it's not exactly 5, you'll know if your room is actually square. Because if it's more than 5, your angle is like that, and if it's less than 5, it's kind of like that. So that's the Pythagorean theorem.